Hello, Aquarius. This is your general tarot reading for August 2015, and my professional name is Aire, A-I-R-E. I've been reading tarot for a few years, since 2012, not very long. I'm not a veteran of tarot, but I do love to read. I think that I have a bachelor's and master's in English. So one reason I do like tarot is because it combines my love of literature with my psychic abilities. Now the cards have been pre-shuffled, and I've also cleared them with my crystal after every reading. So I'm going to just shuffle them for a couple minutes more. Now, Aquarius, you're an air sign, and keep in mind this is a general reading. So I might see a relationship situation coming through, but I also look for career. And I think everyone's situation is different, I think. Obviously, not everyone is going to look at this reading for Aquarius and see exactly the same story, but you might identify with some of the situations that are described that might be applied differently. For some of you, it might be an issue with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or wife, and then with other people it actually might apply to a son or a daughter or a boss or a co-worker. So just try to be flexible a little bit, and just understand that because this is a general tarot reading for Aquarius, it's not going to be exactly your situation. I think for that to happen, you should definitely get a personal tarot reading. These cards. Okay. I'm also a Wiccan, and so I don't just read tarot. I do a lot of meditation, a lot of creative visualization as well, in addition to developing psychic abilities. And for me, Wiccan just doesn't mean waving a wand or casting a spell or a curse. It really is a practice or a belief where I've had to work on myself more than anything. Okay. So I'm silently focusing on the cards and thanking Spirit for any knowledge and wisdom that will come through this reading. Oops. Just a few more seconds. Okay, I am going to cut the cards. So this right here, this will be past energies that exist as you come into the month of August. cards might be reversed as I pull them from the deck. This is the present, and this is more like the future here. So near the end of August, this is probably what might be happening. Well, here in the present, we have a couple of cards. Well, there are cards in the tarot deck. The first 22 cards in the tarot are called major arcana. They're the Chariot, the Hangman, the Lovers. They are not trump cards like 6 of Cups or 10 of Wands or the Aces. You know, the cards you would find in a traditional playing deck. And the major arcana, they are major energies. They're the energies of positivity and moving on and control of self and all of the human experiences, like the Lovers. And then we have the Hangman, which is reversed. So I definitely look at the major arcana cards because they give me a framework to look at the trump cards here. They frame the story. And you have the Chariot that's reversed. The Chariot is a card of moving on, moving towards success. But it is reversed here in the future. Then you have the Lovers, and this might be self-explanatory, but you should know that it just doesn't mean an actual relationship. The Lovers card can actually mean, in some instances, a unity of self, that your male and female energies are coming together and they're as one. So the Lovers card can mean two things coming together for a creative and spiritual energy here. But keep in mind that the interesting thing about this card is that you still have they're still in the Garden of Eden, and you still have this tree with the fruit and the serpent here in the back. There's still that foreshadowing of temptation. And the Lovers card is not necessarily a card of commitment. This is not a card you want to, this is not the marriage card necessarily. It does mean a strong physical, sexual, creative energy, a sensual energy, but it's definitely creativity as well. And it can mean inspiration, and that comes from unity of two different energies, the yin and the yang, so to speak, the male and the female. But in the most basic sense, this can definitely mean a relationship here. But if you've been not feeling that things are coming together for you, and maybe you've been going through a lot of conflict, internal conflict, the Lovers card means that you found your zone of happiness and creativity and inspirational power. Now the Hangman is upside down, The Hangman is a card about the spiritual and the emotional, being in a situation that you have no control over. And you see the man here is hanging upside down. He's in a situation that he can't quite get out of. He's in a way, you could say that he's suffering a little bit. But you see this halo around his head. And the halo around his head means that even though he's in this difficult situation, he is still thinking things through. He's still contemplating that this very challenging situation he's in, he's using it to learn a lesson, to see what is the purpose in going through all this suffering. And so this is very interesting. Because the Hangman is reversed, this situation right here, there's no spiritual contemplation here. We're going through the suffering of a certain situation, but it seems as if there's no reflection, that maybe we're avoiding certain things about this relationship. Now, the Lovers, the Hangman, which is reversed, and the Chariot, which is reversed, the basic framework is a relationship where this relationship is not necessarily working out. It might not be a relationship that is for your highest good. And that's what the Hangman is about. It's about finding out what is for your highest good in this situation, in a difficult situation. This is the card of memories. So I'm kind of working backwards here to what was going on before the month of March. This is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is a card of memories and sentimental feelings. And it definitely refers to the past, someone from the past. Sometimes in a relationship reading, I read this card, and it can mean an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend, someone that you broke up with, that you still think about. And sometimes, it's not good to hold on to the past or hold on to someone that you've been with for a long time. It seems as if you might be taking someone back or going back to this relationship, but you're not necessarily contemplating, is this for my highest good? Do I need to go back into the past here with this person? Interesting. So going to this first row from the past energies, we do have the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is a card of taking on more, being burdened, basically. You see this man, and he's carrying the 10 wands, and he's almost close to home. You see the houses in the city here very much in the foreground. He doesn't have farther to go. He just needs to finish his journey carrying these wands. And it can mean being stressed out and depressed, trying to deal with that situation. But then we have this is interesting. Then we have this burst of energy. This is strange because an ace is the beginning. The 10 means, whenever you see the number 10 in the tarot, it can mean that you're at the end of a cycle of this situation, that it's coming to an end. And then when you see the ace, it means beginning again. A new creative force, a new inspiration, a new passion, a new love of life. And so clearly we have one situation ending and then beginning. But seeing what's going on here, that this person from the past is coming back or still in the present, I kind of feel this as you being very sad or depressed about losing that special someone. And then all of a sudden they give you that phone call or they come back into your life. And there's sort of like this 3 of coins here. You have this 3 of coins or 3 of pentacles. This is the card of purpose. This is the card of, you see this person, he's a teacher. He's a person in authority who is giving guidance, or the people are coming to him for some type of help. But in many cases, because coins or pentacles are associated with work or career or money, this is a good card because it means resolution and purpose, and it can mean finding a really great job that you're very happy with, that you have found your purpose in your career. It can mean going to school as well and learning. And it can also mean teaching as well, learning, teaching. So this is a very positive card in the way of people coming together to learn from each other. And this could actually turn out, as far as a career or money situation. Maybe you've been looking for a job and maybe you have found your creative passion here. But in a relationship, 3 of coins can 3 of pentacles can mean people getting back together or certain issues being worked out, trying to make things work for the higher good. So we start a new cycle of purpose and intent. And in a relationship, we get back together. We go back to the past. And maybe in this relationship or this person, because maybe this is someone that you're still not connected to. And you want to find the purpose or justification to continue being attached to this person or holding on to the past. But you still have some type of you still need to know what your highest good is, and whether this situation with this person is really good for you in the long term. And so there needs to be more contemplation here. You need to look at what is really the purpose for this relationship. And sometimes people come into our lives and we have to let them go and learn our lessons from that relationship. Learning lessons from the relationship. Now, the future. We have 9 of coins reversed, and 9 of coins or 9 of pentacles. This is the card that can mean prosperity, a happiness, a joy in life. And you actually see this woman with a falcon. She's got this glove on, actually. That's pretty interesting. But you see the wealth and abundance surrounding her. She's living the good life. This is material abundance, the coins, the pentacles. But I don't think that there is a joy of life. And also, pentacles can mean being stable and grounded. You know, you see life for what it is. You're connected to reality, and you're able to create your own joy, actually. And so, because this card is reversed, it seems as if a lot of things in your life won't be working out because of this situation here. Because there's no groundedness, there's no higher purpose that's connected to helping you make sense of reality here. It might seem as if you needed to learn something here, but you kind of avoided it. Maybe you didn't. Like, oh, I really love this person, so I still want to be with them. And here, this is conflict. It's not necessarily, I don't interpret that as fighting. I would see that in 5 of Swords, but this is 5 of Wands. You see these young boys all play fighting with the sticks. This can mean a competition as well. It can mean people with 2 different agendas. And it can mean people just not on the same page. We're not on the same page here. This is not working out the way we thought it would be working out. But we're not moving on. This situation is not moving on towards success. It's going to probably maybe keep going in the same cycles. You might actually end up being right back here again. So for a relationship, this is definitely letting go of the past. Someone who keeps playing with your emotions that you need to learn to let go of. It can also mean that maybe you're stressed out. For those of you who are going through career situations, maybe you're being stressed out by school, and that you're not able to focus or concentrate because of certain situations in the past, or your ability to find to be stable and grounded and find purpose here. There seems to be a lack of internal stability or unity within yourself to be happy and focused and be positive. You're going through these internal conflicts. It can definitely mean learning from mistakes as well. But maybe you might be a college student going back to school, and you're learning, and you're going to school. Your learning is not it's being affected negatively, maybe because of things from the past, habits from the past, and a lack of overcoming obstacles and being positive. So learning from the past is definitely a message that I'm getting here, that there are things that we keep being drawn to. This sensual, creative energy that we are drawn to for some reason that's linked to the past. But we're not learning from that relationship the way we should. So there is conflict and a failure to move on. There's definitely things from the past affecting you that you're not learning from. And it seems to be a lesson that you have to keep learning over and over again. Okay, but let me shuffle the cards for the outcome. Whoa. Oh dear. Okay, so this doesn't necessarily represent you or anything that you've done. It can definitely represent that this might have seemed like a good idea, that this was enticing, and that, and remember what I said about the serpent being here in the background here. It can still be a factor here, that there's going to be temptation, there's going to be because the Lovers is a sensual card, giving in to certain emotional indulgences with the Lovers, a physical aspect of it. And so you see here the man and the woman, they're in the Garden of Eden in the Lovers, but in the Devil, now they've become chained together. And the woman still has the fruit. And so Aquarius, this doesn't necessarily mean that this is how it's going to play out. You have choices you can make. But this definitely means that whatever you're hoping would work out here from the past, it's only going to be a negative situation. There's going to be a lot of negative energy from this person or the situation that's just going to keep you in bondage here. And you need to move on. because you see this man here. This man is heading towards the city. And here in Six of Cups, you see the city here in the foreground. You see that here in the past, they've returned to the city. So you're heading toward the past, and you've arrived at the past. Now in the Chariot, you see the city. This man is leaving the city. The city is behind him because he's moving on to a new, he's not just moving to a new city, but he has a new vision that he wants to move towards. So you see the city gates behind him. And you see the stars. The star can be positive here. He still has his dreams and hopes. He's connected to that higher purpose as well. And he expects to have a positive outcome here. But it's reversed. We went back to the city. We went back to the past, the city of the past. And so it's this situation might get a little bit, there's going to be more conflict, that this situation is not for your highest good. So this situation eventually, it's not going to work out for your highest good. You have to let this person from the past go, or these habits, or this emotional scar, or this emotional, I see it as, maybe there was something in the past that affected you a lot that you keep going back to. And it could actually be, a bad habit or something, but it always messes up your life eventually. This, whatever this is. Outside the relationship reading, I'm choosing to see this as a past situation. It can also be a negative situation with a relative. And or family. But it seems as if you've fallen back into that situation, and you have to move forward. But even though there's a slightly negative outcome here, well, not even slightly, but even though there's a negative outcome here, it doesn't mean that you can't change the outcome. It's just simply, this card is simply saying that this situation or this person, this is what's going to happen if you don't change your direction. So this can be avoided. So, Aquarius. Very interesting. There is your challenge. And I choose to see these situations as challenges. They're not necessarily, you don't have to accept that this will necessarily affect you. But it does, the cards are saying, here's what you need to do, because this is the outcome of this situation. If you're wondering, are things going to work out with this person or this relationship? or this situation in general. The tarot, this reading is telling you, no, it's not. You need to turn this around. You need to move forward. And I hope you can. So this is your reading for August. Thank you, and I thank you for watching the video. And I hope it brought you some clarity and wisdom and insight. And feel free to contact me if you would like a more detailed personal reading. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and I will see you in September.